Sorry, I was doing my lips and forgot to watch out for the countdown.
It didn't restart.
Oh, it did for me, so.
Oh, I was still at like 2. Unless it restarted, like you went through two full rotations.
I got there pretty fast, so.
Okay.
But hi everybody. Uh, you get to tell us what this is because I'm
Um,
doing the book summary.
I was just staring at you because for a second, I thought you were gonna leave your lips with just the black spot in the middle and like nothing else, and I was like, "Huh, this is a look." Um, Hello, Storm. Storm is joining us today. Uh, uh, Hello and welcome to episode 23 of our book talk. We are doing the Dream Thieves, which is book 2 of
The Raven Cycle.
the Raven Cycle. I was like, I want to say the Raven Cycle, but I didn't want to like just be making that up. And this is our book talk where Sam and I force the other one to read books that at least one of us like, so that there is someone on the book side, or if not on the book side, then at least enjoys the book despite its faults. We have done many hear me outs on this series. This book talk is Sam's choice. We previously read book 1, The Raven Boys, which was also Sam's choice because this is her choice series for now.
For now.
Like, this is the series that you've been choosing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And that's my thought processes. I just realized I forgot to take my ADHD meds today, which is very exciting. So
Do you want to go running?
yeah, well, when you explain.
Yeah.
Today I'm dressed up as Gamzee, and Sam's.
Our poster boy, Aglenby.
Yeah.
Aglenby boy.
Mm-hmm.
So Dream Thieves, it continues our story of Gansey, Noah, Ronan, and Blue's Hunt. Did I get everybody?
Adam,
And Adam.
you forgot the forgotten one.
Yes, so Adam, Gansey, Noah, Ronan, and Blue's Hunt for our Welsh king, who's Glendower. I almost forgot his name too. I don't have meds I can take to help my attention, unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually do think I took my meds because I picked them up and I was like, this is actually tickling something in my brain. I think
That's good. Don't over. Yeah.
So.
But it continues their hunt for Glendower by, like, they're trying to figure out what's happened to Cabeswater because Cabeswater keeps disappearing. And Cabeswater is where they believe Glendower is. It's like this magical forest that they found and discovered Noah had been murdered in. And currently he's now buried along a ley line so that he can continue to exist.
Hang out as a ghost.
Yes, which now he's re-experiencing his death on occasion, and that's questionable.
Traumatizing the rest of them, but he's fine.
So I just think he wasn't doing that before. He's doing that now.
Well, the fact that he's like, oh, like nothing happened, and the rest of them are like, we keep experiencing this.
We keep watching you be stabbed to death. That's a little
10-minute breakdown of my friend experiencing his death in front of me, and I can do nothing. You know, just casual things when you have a ghost as a friend that's a ghost.
Blue's mother is continuing her search for the missing Artemis, her father, while also meeting the Gray Man. I was so excited when the Gray Man was introduced. He is by far one of mine.
I love him. I thought he was going to be a villain. I was like, I like him too much for him to be a villain. And then he wasn't. I'm like, I love you. I love this. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep interrupting. I'm really enjoying it.
You're good. I love Green Mantle as well, especially like the Green Man. Do you think it's a box? He's like, no, I don't think it's a box. Why? Do you think it's a box? Why would you ask that? No, I'm thinking about boxes. And I'm like, I love this man. He's not a good person, but I love this man
I
already.
have a theory about him, but keep going.
I think it's actually, I can do this summary fairly condensed because
Yeah.
that's the whole thing of the book. And Adam's like going through it because he sacrificed himself in book one, but like the way he sacrificed himself was to be Cabeswater's eyes, its ears, its hands and stuff. And so he's gotta like, he's been kind of ignoring it, not on purpose. He just didn't realize Cabeswater was trying to talk to him by hallucinating. And he even went into a fugue state and walked a couple miles.
15 miles.
15 miles. Look, every now and then my children would come in my room and they'd say something and I'm like, fuck, I have to pause my book. So sometimes I miss very tiny details.
They were saying stuff like they're all when Gansey and Adam are in DC and they're saying stuff, and I grew up around DC and I have a lot of family in DC, so it was kind of like I know exactly like the picture being painted. And then when they said like where he ended up, I was like, no, I have to be wrong, because I'm like, that's what? And then like 15 miles away, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just insane. I wasn't right.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
Also, I love the Gansey family. Like,
yeah,
they're so I love Blue's family in that it feels very much like home to me, because that's very like how my family is, and that's like what I relate to and stuff. But I love the flip side of Gansey's family, because like it's just kind of like a look into another version of a loving family who's willing to do and help things. And like when they're like, well, we could get Adam a car, and Gansey's like, well, no, Adam wouldn't do that. And Gansey's sister's immediately like, let me concoct this scheme to manipulate him into taking this car.
What are you talking about? And she's like, that's the fucking point. I am lying.
He's like, what shitty car? And she's like, well, obviously I'm gonna go get one for this toy.
Yeah.
So, which is great. I love that they had her specifically be the one to do that, especially since in book one she is a terrible gift giver. Apparently, she's just really bad at it.
I love her like a lot.
So bad at gift giving, great at manipulating you into taking things you need to succeed.
I've been told exactly what he needs for his life to improve. I just have to figure out a way for him to take it. Like I need parameters, and I will excel at meeting them. But
yes, so she's gonna be great wherever she ends up in life. And then, well, okay, so Adam does do what Cabeswater wanted, which was to fix the ley lines have been fraying over the years, because as with most things, it needs to be tended to maintain its structure and stuff. So we kind of get that Adam and to an extension Persephone are now the priestesses of the ley line.
I know, I love Adam as a priestess. Like, I know that's not what they said, but they specifically said priestesses.
Yeah.
And then they have Adam doing it, so I'm like, hell yeah, he's a priestess.
It also, like, there's hints to make us wonder about Persephone's past, because she's the one who, like, walks Adam through fixing the chaos in himself to accept Cabeswater. And she's like, yeah, they won't be able to unsee that you're different now. Like when I came back. And I'm like, where did you go? Hold on, Persephone.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough detail there. And then she's the one, she gives him her tarot deck to perform everything, and then she's with him every step of the way. And so it's very much like, we know that Kala, Persephone, and Blue's mother, whose name is huh?
Oh, I thought you were talking about listing off the women, the adults.
Yeah, Blue's mom's name.
Moira?
Yeah. So those three, like, they played around with Cabeswater when they were teenagers, and so, but we don't know the extent of it. All we know is that Artemis came out of Cabeswater because of that, and then he and Moira had Blue and then disappeared. Other than that, they haven't really fucked with Cabeswater as far as we know until the events of book one.
Until some more teenagers ran in to fuck with Cabeswater.
Also, so Adam fixed Cabeswater. There was also this plot line with Ronan and Kavinsky, whom batshit motherfucker. I enjoy him as an antagonist. I hate him as a, as a character, though. He is obsessively in love with Ronan. He makes that very obvious, very clear, even like takes it very hard when he's like, you pick Gansey over me, and Ronan's like, that's my brother? I'll pick my brothers over anybody. It ain't personal.
Okay, him going, wait, is he gay? Like, way too far when he realized, when he like started questioning. I'm like, I thought you guys at least like kissed or like a hasty hand job at once with like the amount of energy this man is giving.
I kept being afraid that Kavinsky was gonna do things to Ronan while he was high and asleep.
Oh my!
I was
and then
so
he like
scared of that.
he can't move after he gets out of like taking something out of a dream. I mean, there was the one scene where he's like being like touched, but like it doesn't go further than that. Thank God. But I kept being like, oh no, fuck, oh no.
Right, like there's that tension. But Kavinsky, like the whole Dream Thieves thing, Ronan is the Grey Warden. He can bring things out of his dreams, right? And Kavinsky is also a dreamer, but he's not a Grey Warden. He can just steal from Caveswater, which kind of implies that there are other people who could do it as well.
Yeah,
but
and that Ronan's dad was a thief, not a Warren.
No, Ronan's dad was a Grey Warden.
But the way that the ending like climax scene, with the orphan girl being like, no, it's only ever been you. Because
no,
like,
she meant at the moment she was referring to just between Ronan and Kavinsky.
Okay.
No, they say straight out in the book that Ronan's father was a Grey Warden.
Yeah.
And like the Grey Warrens, it's kind of implied they are the guardians of the dreams.
Yeah.
So it's our job to make sure that like they handle the Dream Thieves.
That's what I thought. And then the last line that she said was like, he's like, oh, and like my father before me, basically. And she's like, no, she's like, no, you don't understand. There's only ever been one. And I'm like, but like one at a time? Is this like a Merlin Dragon Lord thing? Like he didn't become one until his dad died, which maybe that's what that means. But
I think there's only ever been one at a time, but also because of how weird time things are. Maybe maybe his dad was a dream thief. We don't know. He made his wife.
He made his wife. Weird. Which is weird.
I love how angry Blue gets at certain things. And her mom is just like, he dreamed a woman. What the fuck?
Like, were there not enough of them in reality? Like, my question is like, so you weren't kidding about like they got nothing from their mom, and at the end they're like, oh no, like the little brother did get something from her, and I'm like, did he?
I don't want to say anything.
I'm looking forward to seeing the mom be conscious now, because I'm like, is this a puppet person, or is this just a woman who happens to exist?
She's a dream.
Yes, I know she is a dream, but I'm like,
she's
the level of judgment I have for the dad will depend on what this woman's like.
She is a fully sentient being with like thoughts and feelings of her own, but she was molded by him. Like he did pick her personality and stuff. There's like a foreshadowing with it because her favorite movie or her favorite story is Pygmalion.
Yeah. Yeah, with the doll and that.
Yeah. Well, Pygmalion is a Greek myth about a man who molded the perfect woman out of clay and then asked the gods to, I think Aphrodite brings her to life for him.
Oh, fuck. Is that the Paris Palmona just did a music video recently with Richard Armitage, which is Heaven is a Fed Girl. And she's a statue that comes to life, and it's that. Yeah,
there's also a movie made in the 80s called Mannequin that's based on it.
I was sending the music video. It's fun.
I really enjoy Mannequin. It's essentially the Pinocchio thing.
Yeah, I like it better as like, this is my child rather than this is
I can't blame you.
Yeah. All right, with your dragons show up. Your
Oh yeah, they like the Dream Thief and our Grey Warren dream monsters into reality, and they fight, and Kavinsky ends up killed by his own dragon thing, and then all of his dreams fall asleep. We will come back to Paco Panko,
yeah.
but and that's kind of the book ends with us learning that Moira has disappeared underground into Capeswater. There was a pond in Capeswater in the first book that was filled with fish, and there was a lot of attention put on this pond with fish. They were even thinking of getting some tools to be able to read things underwater before Capeswater disappeared. The pool is not a pool anymore. It's not a stairwell, but like that's the visual description my brain is going with. Under the earth.
There was also the whole plot line about kissing. And
yes, the kissing. Look, the romance could be taken out of this book, and it would largely be uncaged.
Yeah.
But yes, Blue and Adam have finally broken up because Adam comes back from DC after having his fugue state and stuff, and finding out things about Capeswater, and he was this poor train wreck of a boy.
Yeah.
He wants to talk to her about like what they found out about Capeswater. He wants to talk to her about all of these important things, but what comes out of his mouth is, "Why won't you kiss me?" And she does not like that. She's very angry about that, and when she's like trying to point that out, and she's also like pointing out that he never even considered inviting her to DC, which honestly,
it would be weird if he invited her.
Yeah, because he was the plus one.
Yeah.
Plus ones don't invite people, but also I can kind of see where she's coming when with it's like, you didn't even consider doing that. And I'm like, that's okay, I could see that. I don't feel the level of angry, but also I realize that like she's just got a list of complaints at the moment.
Yeah, that's the culmination. That's the tipping point.
Also, she should be angry at Gansey for not inviting her. Because
there's like no reason to have invited. Like Ronan wasn't invited.
No, Ronan was specifically uninvited.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like, so they fight and everything, and she finally confesses the kiss thing to him. And then that's when he crosses the line where he's just like, well, if I'm not your true love, kiss me anyway. It's just like, no. The fuck? Like, she just went on this whole thing about wanting to be more than just a pair of titties, and like wanting to be more than just somebody he kisses and stuff. And then she's like, well, you're not my true love. And he's like, well, then kiss me anyway. And she's like, what?
I think I read that as him being like, I'll just die. Like, I'd rather just die than be your true love, like, than not be your true love. Like, I think, no, I totally took that as, like, kid, you're being suicidal. Like, you'd rather, like...
He might be. He was pretty fucked up.
He was very fucked up. This entire book, I was, like, kind of mad at him, and then I'd be like, I think he is being magically fucked up, along with just a lot going on in his life. So
see,
like,
for me, it's one of those things where I was, because of how I view teenagers in YA, I was never mad at him so much as I was just like, oh, my poor boy, you need a hug.
I loved him so much in the first book, and then I was getting frustrated with his actions in this book, and I think the next book will be like where I land on his character, or like I hope the next progression of it will smooth out how I feel about this book. So it'll either be like, oh, this is a transition time that was rough for him, or like, oh, this is the hallmarks of what he is going to now be.
Because the Raven Cycle is very much a series where these books cannot be taken in isolation. I would not recommend anybody just pick up any of them. You'll be fine. No, you won't. You'll be lost, and that's fine. I really enjoy a series like that. So, Kavinsky, I do believe, is the evilest character we have encountered so far. Apparently, murdered his father, or no, he didn't. Yes, he did. He
killed the
admits
father.
that he did murder his father.
Yeah.
Because at first he was being coy about it, and he was like, my dad tried to kill me. Is like, and if I wanted to kill my dad, I wouldn't have tried to kill my dad. I would have just killed my dad.
Like, I get things done.
But then later, when Ronan's like, you can't get away with murdering my brother, and Kavinsky's like, why? I got away with murdering my dad and Paco Panko. Like, we already knew at that point Paco Panko was a forgery, so we're already kind of like, where did he go?
Who is Paco Panko?
Oh, Paco Panko is Kavinsky's right hand, very similar to how Ronan and Adam are his right hand, but like, he has no lines. He's only ever mentioned as being in a car or being around Kavinsky.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Kavinsky's pretty much the only one who mentions him. I think
I like remember him being revealed as a construct, but I was like, dude, this guy hasn't done anything. Like, this isn't a.
No, I will be honest. The only reason I clock Panko Panko anytime is because his name is so fucking unique. I'm like, also, I was trying to figure out if he was Kavinsky's
Lover?
Unhealthy lover, which honestly
Still might be.
Been. Well, not anymore. Kavinsky died. He's asleep. He's in a coma.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to, like, presumably Kavinsky recreated this boy so well, his parents have never reported him missing. So, that's skill.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Now, I will say, like, so you said that something about your feelings on the dad. I will say that, like, even though they say that Ronan and Declan got nothing from their mother, they were birthed from their mother.
Yeah, no. I was mostly making a joke. So,
just want to make sure.
Are you done with your summary?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think the dag's a very interesting character. And I do know that, like, yeah, she did raise them and give birth to them and stuff like that. But it was just, they made such a point of saying, like, this is what each boy got from their father, and
yeah,
they got nothing from her. And then at the end, they're like, actually, but I like this book. There were some points I got a little, like, were harder to get through, mostly just the drug scene, because I was scared that they were going to do, like, a drug addiction arc or something like that with Ronan when he was with Kavinsky in the car, like, using the drugs to dream, and then that he's like, no, I can just go to sleep. And only, like, he used the drug in the high intensity thing, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was kind of, like, worried about that. And I was also worried that they're going to be like, look, the gay one, he's with the toxic, evil, bad guy.
The first time I read it, I too was like, don't you do this to him.
But honestly, if he calls Adam elegant one more time without fucking kissing him.
Oh my god, I love when Ronan's describing everyone else and he's like an Adam's elegant face, and I'm like, this is why we didn't get your perspective in the first book.
Yeah, he's constantly like elegant and beautiful, and I'm like, Adam needs to be like given a little paragraph of how Ronan sees him to feel better about himself, honestly.
Like, they had a moment.
Oh yeah.
When Adam's all like, I know it was you, the rent. And he's not mad at him the way he would be at Gansey, which is fucked, but also it's fine.
It's different. It's different.
It's different. Because he knows Rowan doesn't give a fuck about pity. He's
like, no, you needed it, so I gave it to you. So Ronan is a darling. I made my chart. Which I do for my chart that I made for audience. Actually, I think I can just bring it up on my iPad.
Also, I love, while you're getting that, I love that Ronan has a religious connection.
Yeah.
Like, out of all of the boys and stuff, Ronan is the one with the strongest religious beliefs. And so because of that, he doesn't want to mess with the tarot and all of that. He's like, I think that's against my religion. And they're like, boy, you're literally a Grey Warren who pulls things out of dreams and shit. And
Okay.
he's like, but you know what? You can mirror your camera. That'll.
No, it's already. Is that
Oh,
visible?
it's backwards.
Oh,
Just for this. Just for this.
okay. So, yeah, this is weird. Okay. So my red lines are relationships, and then my blue line,
Romantic specifically.
yeah, romantic relationships. My blue line is brothers. Nope, that way. And then green line is just like friends, like bros, friends. And so we have Blue, who's just friends with Ronan, but her lovers are Gansey and Adam because she deserves two boyfriends.
Oh, wait, I do have to say there are two of the lines I disagree with. I didn't notice that Noah and Rodin's are romantic.
Yeah, I don't really feel about that one anymore.
I feel like Ronan treats Noah the same way he treats his brother. What's his little brother?
Yeah, that was one I kind of just like paused on and was just like, I don't really know what to do there. They get to kiss, I guess. We didn't get to see very much uh, Noah in this book because of the issues that were happening with the
Yeah,
line.
but
Uh,
like in the first book and this book, I feel like he treats Noah a little bit of a mix between the way he treats Declan and the little brother whose name is escaping me.
Michael or something like that. I don't know.
Matthew?
I know we disagree about the Gansey and Adam, but I think that they would be so toxic. And
Nancy is just tragically straight. I can't see it.
I don't get straight for him the way you do. And I like, yeah.
But also, like, I can't agree with the romantic line just because they would ruin each other. And
They would. I don't think they'd be good.
Actually, I don't think it would ruin Gansey, but I do think it would ruin Adam.
It would ruin Adam. So. And cause Blue distress.
I do think that, all right, so I think what I want you to do is just erase half the line on Gansey's side and put brother there. Because I think that, like, well, friendship or brother is, like, Ronan and Adam are his brothers to me. Like, that's how Gansey perceives them. And that's why he doesn't want to date Blue because he feels like he would be betraying his brother. But then, friend for Noah because he just doesn't seem the same with Noah. But like we can leave because I do think Adam has a crush on Gansey, and I think that's part of his hang up with Gansey.
Yeah.
I definitely like see that from Adam's side. I don't know, my romance star for Gansey just does not go anywhere near Adam.
What about Blue and Noah? They had the whole thing like if I was alive.
Yeah, no, Blue and Noah, honestly, you could put any color line for Blue with any of them. Except Gansey and Adam, those ones have to stay red. But you can put okay. So I guess for Blue with Ronan or Blue and Noah, it could go anyway. No, wait, because Ronan's gay and they're more sibling like.
And they literally kissed.
Yeah, you could put red for her and Noah.
Yeah, I think I think him just being like, yeah, if I was alive, like, still she is fully dating Adam at this point. Like, yeah, there's been their little conflict and stuff, but not from, but like they're not broken up or anything. And the fact that her and Noah kiss, it's so like, let's practice kissing, like little kids.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm dead. You can't kill me.
Yeah. And the fact I was like, oh, this is kind of sweet, but kind of odd. And then the way my heart shattered at him being like, if I was alive. And I'm like, oh. But it's also funny that 3 out of 4 of the boys have crushes on her. But she's like, I'm different. Or she's like, those Raven Ackleby boys see me as like beneath them because you just smeared.
Yeah, I know, I'm getting it.
Actually, your Noah look with the smear on the face.
That's why I was murdered.
And like she's like, oh yeah, the Agleby boys look down on us Henrietta girls, and then like girl, out of the 4 Agleby boys that you interact with, 3 of them are lightly in love with you.
But these Aglinby boys are different. For one is dead. For 2, another one is a guardian of a dream world. For 3, the other.
He's not the one that's in love with her. The weirdest one is not the one that's yeah.
I don't think he's the weirdest considering
Not there one.
Gansey was resurrected and is now simultaneously an old and young man all the time.
Well, yeah, because he's the fucking reincarnation of Glendower or something. Like that's not. He has other shit going on. Yeah, but I like them. I think it. Yeah, this book, these books continue checking all the boxes for me. The fact that they go and try and get adults help when things are going down every time. Like when the brothers kidnap, they like go to Foxway and they're like they're going around to go try and get adults, and then they're like, we're emotionally not doing well in our interpersonal relationships. Let's sit down with the adults. He's magically being weird as hell. The adults are like, hey, we're gonna help now.
We're gonna sit you down.
I'm switching back my camera because I can't.
That's fine. It was only for the thingy.
Yeah.
We buried a lead. The Gray Man is also a hitman.
Yeah, that.
And did in fact volunteer to kill Kavinsky for them. And Adam, because he upset Blue, but Blue was like, no, that's fine.
I think the Kavinsky, I think they were both kind of like, with Adam, I think it was like, does he need
that
a talking
was obviously
to?
just a joke, but.
And then with Kavinsky, it was like, does he need a talking to? But it's like, with the underlying threat of murder, I think it was just using the same phrase, but slightly less murdery.
Well, he said it about Kavinsky first, and that was with the murder, and then he said it about Adam.
Honestly, this man, just his vibe, and then the way he just like fits in with the women of Foxway is so nice and refreshing.
Yes, I love him. It's so sad when you realize he calls himself the Gray Man and stuff. He's depressed.
Yeah.
Everything in life is gray, and then he meets Moira, and it's all like, there's color again.
Yeah, Dean Allen. And the fact that they call him Mr. Gray instead of like the Gray Man or anything like that.
Well, that becomes his 3 like identities for himself. Yeah, it's not. Which, to be clear, not like borderline. Identities in more of a metaphorical thing, whereas he like identifies his past self who was traumatic with, which oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite like plot lines that deals with some things, is his ongoing trauma and terror about his brother. And you can see like the psychological damage growing up with his brother and stuff did with him, even though his brother is now, I think, an accountant or something similar. And he himself is like a hardened hitman. And then like at the end, even Green Mantle uses his brother because like as soon as he figures out the Grey Warren is a teenage boy, he's all like, I know how to get out. So he's like, yeah, can't do that. And he's like planning on sacrificing himself. He's like, I could just leave. But then Green Mantle is like, puts his brother on his trail because he knows that that's the one thing the Gray Man is afraid of. And the Gray Man decides, you know what, I don't want to leave. So he lures his brother somewhere. And in his mind, he's freaked out. He's like, my brother's going to kill me. This is it. My brother's going to kill me. And then he just shoots his brother. And his brother's dead. And then he goes back.
His brother didn't even get out of the car. I like the moment where he's like, hold on, I'm a fucking hitman. Like, what are you doing?
Like, hold on, I kill people for a living. My brother does their taxes.
Yeah, investment banker or something like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that like the other treasure hunters, he's just like, bye. Like, here's my number. If
Yeah,
you need
he
help.
just
Like,
tells them, he's like, yeah, it's not here. It was just the fault line and stuff. And they're like, okay, we'll leave.
yeah.
And then he's like, oh, cameras. And they're like, oh, shit, didn't even think about that.
Which is,
They're new.
yeah, they're new. They're new.
They're young.
And the fact that he kills those, like, we do see him kill people on page. Like, he kills
Yeah,
2
we do.
people. And yet, that doesn't bother me.
No. Why would it? He's a hitman. He's very honest about the fact he's a hitman. It's okay.
And it doesn't bother the women of Foxway or Moira or anyone. And I just think that's so funny for them. They're like,
honestly, we don't know who they did or didn't kill before before Blue was born.
They ask him about his job and stuff is just so funny. And I am excited. I'm hoping, in the next book there's an interaction between Gansey and the Gray Man. Because I think that just the level of nonchalance, the level of, I'm sorry, I need answers, are just so contrasting. So yeah. I'm excited to see the Gray Man interact some with the boys. Really all of the boys. I think Noah would be chill with it.
I mean, he's gonna be Blue's stepdad, I guess, if Moira ever comes back.
Yeah.
I like how when Blue first saw him, she was like, I don't know my father. I don't give 2 fucks about my father, but how dare this man try to come in? Take my father's place.
And I love that in the Gray Man's perspective, we get, like, oh, he's like, I think I'm falling in love. And I'm like, you've known her for so little time. And I love that the progression of the adults' relationship is so much quicker than the progression of the kid.
Because they're adults.
Yeah.
Also, Moira uses, like, making out with him to steal his...
Oh my god, yeah. And the fact that he's, like, kind of into that.
Well, like, first, Kala pickpockets his wallet, and then Moira makes out with him and steals his phone, and then when he, like, calls... Well, first, they don't answer, but they do check his voicemail, and then calls him back, and his reaction to it is just, please let me know if you're going to steal anything else so that I can be prepared to go without it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this man fits so perfectly.
I'm glad it wasn't I thought at first when they started getting romantic that it was going to be like, my mom was taken advantage of, or like, he lied to her, or her feelings were played with, or like she thought she knew what she was getting into, but she didn't, and it didn't do that. Like, no,
Moira's like,
what?
She is far more likely to seduce and take advantage.
Yeah. So I appreciate that as well. Yeah.
I appreciate how Kala continues to just be like an older femme version of Ronin in her interactions with things. Also that she does aerial yoga to stay in shape. And I'm like, yes. I don't understand how the house at Foxway is built, but I also don't care.
Yeah. Good dose of magic in there.
It feels like a Mary Poppins house. Because like they're basically like it's 2 houses and then somebody like connected the houses with hallways and more rooms in between. So I'm like, this is a fairy tale house.
I think the scene where Blue's like jealous of I forget which one of her cousin that like
Orla
goes to the link with them and like gets in her bikini, and the boys are all like staring, but then Blue is wearing like a tank top and some like pants and gets soaked, and then Gansey's like, this feels more scandalous.
Gansey's like, yes, this is a fine specimen of a young woman, very nice in her bikini. Oh God, Blue!
Yeah. I ship Gansey and Blue from book one. Like I kind of figured it was going to go that direction, but I didn't. But with the way this book progressed and like they're growing emotional relationships, and then also the fucking not kiss scene, the cheek and all that. I was like, oh, that got me. That
Where
was,
they pretend
yeah,
and
and
then
they were like
never
talking
speak of
about
it
it.
again. Sorry,
I
say
was
that
like,
again.
oh, this is healthy and like the kind of thing I look forward to growing. Because it does feel like her and Adam were puppy love, like simple, or like little crushes.
Yeah, Blue and Adam to me feels like whirlwind romance is another term for it, but there's one that involves fire that I'm trying to like. It's a blaze that
Uh, a flashbang.
no, though my child would describe it that way. No, like a comet, I think is what it's called. It's bright, but it flies by quickly and peters out. So it's like it's a very quick. Would have been passionate if they actually kissed, but there's
Yeah,
I still say it's passionate because they like there's a lot of high emotions and stuff.
yeah, and
But
I
then like,
think that them being friends, like them continuing, like obviously it's gonna be awkward, um, but I think they'd be more beneficial to each other as just friends, with
yeah,
not romantic getting in the way of meeting each other.
yes, I need her to just sidestep and go to Gansey so my true ship can begin to sail.
Yeah, it's Adam and Ronan, right? Like,
Yes, Adam and Rowan.
like from book one, I was like,
Matt contested during the first stream. Like I can pull the screenshots from him in my DMs. I called Adam and Ronan from my first read of book one. I was like, there's something there. I was like, oh, the way that Ronan defended Adam, like the way that led up.
yeah.
And we didn't get like any of Ronan's perspective in book one, and I think that was like in part
As
to
soon as Ronan's perspective started, like in this book, it felt like I had been there all along, and I had to remind myself that I hadn't seen his perspective on everything, just because he's so honest and like wears his shirt, like his heart on his sleeve and everything.
yeah, like a lot of his inner narrative and his outer narrative match perfectly, whereas with a lot of the other characters they've got a lot more and things going on the inside, and they purposely also say things that are um not what they're feeling but what they like just want to say in the like with like the part with Adam when he's like he wanted to talk to her about all this stuff but what came out was that. And then there are parts when Gansey's like really frustrated and he's like, well, he wanted to say this, that, and the other, but instead he says this to like smooth things out. And then Ronan, by contrast, is oh, he's great. Although he is, I will say, you get more of a look at the secrets he's hiding inside, but
Yeah,
like hiding them from himself so deeply that even when you're in his perspective, it's like it's just hints and things that you can guess at. Like when he was listing, he's like, "There's different kinds of secrets," and like the second secret was Adam, and I'm like, oh, "Is this a confession? This is a confession. This is close to what we're getting as a confession at the moment, anyway." So
yeah. I'm looking forward to how that progresses as well, and then it'll also, with it being a love triangle that isn't really a love triangle, because it like sidestepped being one
yeah,
because the people are good people. Um, and then with Gansey and or when Gansey and Blue to get together, Ronan and Adam also progressing, um, will ease like the kind of like, well, but the other one gets the shaft or like that's fucked over because they weren't the one that was chosen, even if we like them. Where it's like, no, and it's not like, oh, a last minute consolation prize or anything.
No,
like
it's
like, no, it was like something temporary that gets to grow to something that's true. Into two separate, like this was temporary and this gets to be the real thing, hopefully.
I also do like that Ronan, at this point, I don't know if well, Ronan for sure doesn't know, but I don't know if even Adam knows he's bi at this point.
Yeah,
And Ronan works to not put his feelings are no one's responsibility but his own, and he tries to make sure that doesn't interfere with his friendship with Adam or anyone, I feel.
Mm-hmm. How long am I going to have to wait to read book 3?
Next month. Because this month is the romance month.
This is romance?
No. I picked a different romance book.
I know.
But you'll get to read book 4 right after book 3.
The next month.
You can always read them early. Well, I mean, read book 3 early and then reread it for the book talk.
Yeah. Fine. Let's see, what else? I feel like both of us are like, yeah, we really liked it. There's not much discussion back and forth, dissection, as much of this book.
Because it's I feel like this book series, there's not as much to dissect in terms of the way we dissect things. The only problematic thing, we already discussed it. Also, our opinions are far more aligned.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not as much back and forth because of that.
Yeah.
Whereas with a Hear Me Out book or a book that we have different opinions, that's where the discussion lengthens, is the differing opinions. But
this is kind of related to this book, but more abstract. It's been a while since I've read a series where each book is not a contained story. I've read series where I'm not talking about oh, you can just pick up any book in the series and go from there. But I'm like, no, we set up in book 1, we're going to go find the Welsh King Glendower. And then we don't find him in book 1 or 2. This is still our goal. We're still on the same path. We haven't completed one thing and on to the next step. We're just no, that's our end goal, and we're running into obstacles to get to that goal. And it's been a while since I've read a book like that.
I feel like that's how book series used to be when I was growing up, and then a lot of the advice for debut authors and stuff was even if you are doing a series, make sure book 1 is a self-contained story. And then I think that just sort of became the trend, and it became the thing where series, even if they had an overarching plot, it wasn't as important until the later books. Whereas with these books, the main plot has been cut into smaller pieces, and each book has its own end goal, but that's...
But the initial mystery we're presented with, which is Gansy's death.
Yes.
In chapter 1 of book 1, at the end of book 2, is still not solved, and it doesn't really feel closer to being solved. And I enjoy that immensely. But I'm thinking of books from my childhood, which are Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, Ranger's Apprentice.
For the audience, the eras of our childhood for me would have been the 90s and the 2000s, and for CB would have been the 2010s?
2010s.
Okay. I could not remember where in the 2000s you were.
Yeah, 2003. And so from there. And then Ranger's Apprentice, Artemis Fowl even. Each of those are this is a book. And then whatever happens in this book will have consequences that are book 2, or
there's a greater timeline.
But it's not no, that we're just ending here, and then we'll pick up here also later.
Yeah.
Like,
I love those cliffhangers.
I enjoy that, and it mostly, like, as I was reading this, I was like looking at my own book and being like, maybe it should just be 2 books, which is not how my book is set up to be, and I'm not going to do that. But I was like, oh yeah, there is this freedom. I shouldn't feel so limited in planning out books and storylines.
We lightly talked about that a little bit because, like, of breaking them down, and I'm like, well, you could make it a duology, because a lot of duologies, like, they are a full story cut in half. They just make sure that it ends at a part that makes sense. And I know I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,000 times more, but that is part of the reason I have been so, like, grateful that I joined a couple of the book clubs I did, because it really got me into reading a lot of things. And excuse me, I've been talking a lot about, like, I've been reading a lot of middle grades, and with the middle grades, it's really making me want to just be more free and just do whatever the fuck I want to an even higher level than I was before in adult media, because, like, why should I be limited just because I'm not writing for 12-year-olds? And I have something in my throat.
I can hear that.
But on the other hand, this year, because with the book club, I had been reading a lot of book ones, and so I was like, all right, I want to start finishing a lot of the series. And a lot of the series on my list are actually only 2 to 4 books long, which I'm like, I had gotten so used to reading 20-book series, because romance writers, a lot of the times, they just, like,
they'll keep going,
write a bunch of couples in all the same universe, which I'm down for. But, like, and because the books are only like 2 to 4, they are like the Raven cycle, where it's like the bigger plot and everything is continuing and ongoing, and all of the smaller plots just sort of lean to moving the bigger plot forward in one way or another. Like, I know you said it didn't feel like this was moving it forward, but
I mean, it does, but it's not like, oh, we've made leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a check mark, but when you, like, take a step back and you look at it practically, it kind of is, because it's like,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, Adam, like, we've got our medium for our priestess for it now, and, like, oh, now our Grey Warren has, like, upped, and it's like, but as the reader, you don't know that a checklist is being checked off, because we don't know what the fuck the checklist is.
We've now been handed a couple pieces to a puzzle, and that's about it. Speaking of puzzles,
yeah.
But yeah, so I do think there feels like a progression to the story, but it's not as predictable a progression as a lot of series.
That's part of the fun. I also like how so Kavinsky was actually in book 1 a little bit and stuff, and I like how I think he was just a mention, or like he came into the diner and just said just more of the same shit, so he was just a bigger part of book 2. But we could talk about his internalized homophobia if we wanted to. But hold on, that's not what I was gonna say. That was just a thought. Oh, like with the Gray Man, and like in book 1, our murderous antagonist was a teacher and her aunt. And then in this one, it's like we've got a murderous new character, but, like, not a bad guy, not even an antagonist, really.
Well,
he's here to do
and he's not a bad guy. Like, he still kills people, but he's not a bad dude.
In the words of Sanji from Wreck-It Ralph, he is bad guy, but he is not bad guy. So, and mild spoiler for the next book, but we have met the antagonist of the next book.
Okay.
And I love how that's a thing. Like, it's never, you never go into, at least so far that I remember, you don't go into the books being like, oh, who's this totally completely new character here to fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Is normally, and I think, no, I don't think the Gray Man was foreshadowed in book 1. Never mind.
No, not that I remember, at least. But I don't remember Kavinsky from book 1 either. I remember someone being there and being a dick to Blue at work, but nothing more than that.
Although he wasn't in book 1, I do feel there could, like, it's not foreshadowing per se so much as it's set up, because they set up that Gansey found everything because of the spikes in the reading and stuff. It is set up that, like, it's very, like, immediately believable. Like, he automatically clicks into place when we find out that someone has hired a treasure bounty hunter to find, you know.
Yeah, and the fact that
Especially when we
book 1 we'll talk about, like, Gansey, maybe we should stop talking to people about this, because if you figure it out, someone else will too. Mm-hmm. And Gansey being like, that's a good thing, and then
and we know that Neil Lynch was murdered.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, the Gray Man killed Neil Lynch, and he did let Ronan know that.
Yeah.
Ronan was not okay with that.
No. Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, wait.
That if I had a criticism, that would be my one criticism. I don't feel like there wasn't enough weight put on that for me.
By everyone else, yeah. By, like, Ronan reacts a normal way, and some of the other kids, but the other adults don't act normally to that knowledge.
Yeah.
They're like, Blue, stop him. And she's like, no.
How do I stop him?
He killed his dad. Like, what?
His dad. And Mom, I know you want in his pants, but
I know you've been in his pants, I'm pretty sure. But no. Yeah, that would be one of my, like, okay. The actual consequences of having a character being a hitman is they kill people, and those people have loved ones. If anything, I kind of like it, like, writing-wise. I like that he's the one that did it rather than just, like, another random treasure hunter. Because it adds conflict and adds that kind of, someone killed my dad for this, versus that guy killed my dad.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think Ronan, like, only backed down too because the Gray Man was basically like, I'm gonna lead everybody else away.
Yeah.
And so Ronan's like,
oh, you're gonna go get killed in a different thing. All right. Or I'm never gonna have to see you again. Okay. I also like that Ronan never, like, he considered murdering Kavinsky, or like the only way to get rid of it, and he was like, no, that's not an option. No. Like, especially for the aesthetic of Ronan, and it's like, oh, that one's gonna be the bloodthirsty one and stuff, blah 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 blah. And then just being like, no, that's not an option. And having it still, like, a thing he thinks about and then immediately dismisses. Because it's one thing to, like, never consider it, and then people are like, well, the obvious choice is to. But having him be like, the obvious choice is, but I'm not going to do that, really shows a lot about his character.
Yeah. In the end, he isn't even, like, really the reason Kavinsky dies.
Yeah, he's like, Kavinsky, don't get, like, he's trying to stop him, like, get out of the way kind of thing, and then he is. It does make the like, resolution easier that Kavinsky basically killed himself, because then they don't have.
It was real tore up that Ronan said no.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's probably like, I'm different, but there's someone else who's different, and I'm in love with him.
Yeah, because Kavinsky is like, when I told you that you had to pick between me and Gansey, that you were with me or against me, I didn't think you'd pick against me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, are you in love with Gansey? He's like, no, I'm not in love with Gansey.
Other types of relationships.
Yeah. He's like, wait, you didn't say you weren't gay. Why would I lie? I don't lie. I don't Just because I'm gay
And
doesn't mean
have a familial bond or a platonic bond with another boy our age. Yeah.
it's like
So
these are two mutually exclusive things.
we all know if you're gay, you can't have friends.
No.
No friends for gay people.
Our next book for this month.
I want to say speaking of gay people, but it's really not at all.
Speaking of fabulously straight men.
Yeah, well, maybe a little fruity, but who knows? Kind of. Anyways, our next book is my choice, and it's Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wayne Jones. You might recognize the title from the Studio Ghibli movie.
Also, it was Castle in the Sky that I was trying to remember. She wrote a book called Castle in the Air, and it was adapted into the movie Castle in the Sky.
Ah,
And
I loved Castle in the Sky as a kid, and I love Howl's Moving Castle as an adult. I'm talking about the Ghibli films.
Yeah.
Because I love castles, and I think that's the extent of it as a child of where that came from. As an adult, I read this 3 years ago, and I couldn't think of a romance book, and then I did, and I was very happy because it's Valentine's Day month, the month of love.
Could have used the loophole and been like, but book 3 has romance.
I choose book 3 for you.
No.
That's not how
could have tried.
We almost got another Dan May novel, but we're not there yet. We are running out of books that I have read in my life and enjoyed. It's kind of a joke.
I have a list of recommendations that I think you would enjoy. That's part of why we started this.
And I'm trying to read a new book every month is to have more books for our book talks, because I'm like, I haven't read that much.
I can be proud of that.
To read again. There's books I read as a kid, but we're gonna start getting into children's novels and such.
That won't stop me. It'll.
I know it won't stop, but I don't particularly want to read some of the books I read. I tried. I loved a book in 6th grade. I'm not saying the title because of what I'm about to say, but I loved it. And then I went back not that long ago, and I picked up the book, and I have the copy of it, and I started reading it, and it was fucking terrible, horribly written. And I was like, me and my friends loved this book, and I
could DM me the book.
What?
I said you have to DM me the book.
Yeah, I literally couldn't get through a chapter, and I was reading passages aloud to my dad, being like, "Is this me or is this just bad?" And he's like, "It's bad." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I was I saw the author posted a new book in the series or something came out because it was still going on. And I was like, oh, I'll catch up and I'll read that. I loved it, and I was like,
You're like, never mind.
Never mind.
Kaufman said, hey there, love Howl's Moving Castle, but never read the book, only seen the anime. Well, if you wish to join us in the book talk, we'll be reading it in the next couple days and then talking about it on Saturday. Not at all because our streaming schedule got
messed up
in January, and I refused to change the order of my picks.
So we'll be talking about it on the 7th.
Yes. But yeah, so that's the next one, and we're going to vanish for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then be back on my channel for Whip Wednesday.
Hey.
I have to go get socks because I forgot socks, and now my foot is an icicle.
I have to take off my nail polish so I don't obsess with
it because it's become so cold that it lost me again.
All right. See you guys. Hi, Rowan.
Everyone's showing up now. You'll just have to rewatch.
Yeah. See you in 24 minutes.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. I don't have to click out.